Nobushi, the most beautiful hero in For Honor. But who is she? Nobushi is the most elegant hero in the game. If you love samurai, beauty, and high amounts of skill, then Nobushi is the perfect hero for you. She is the hybrid of the samurai's faction. Hey guys, in today's video we'll be going over 5 different things. Nobushi's movesets, her feats, her fashion, her perks, and lastly, all of her executions. Let's head over to her movesets. Nobushi can throw a light, and the third light will be guaranteed, and the third light will do bleed damage. She can do a light and then a heavy, and the second heavy will be undodgeable. She can do a heavy, and again, the second heavy will be undodgeable, and that is with every combo. When you are not in guard, you can do a light attack that does bleed damage. And this is her heavy when she is not in guard. Now for her hidden stance. For her to go into her hidden stance, it costs 12 stamina, but she can regain it even when she's in it. She can do a bash attack when she's in her stance. Or she can go into her stance and throw a heavy that's undodgeable. And one really cool thing about this is, let's just say she's aiming her weapon from above, she can go into her stance and throw a side heavy or vice versa. She's got some pretty good mix-ups she can do with that. Same thing with her light attacks when she's in her stance, but those won't be undodgeable. You can also go into the stance to dodge an attack. And you can dodge once you're in the stance as well to any direction you want, which allows you to dodge twice. You can also do a dodge attack as well when you dodge from the hidden stance. But be careful because you can be guard broken if you miss. You can dodge forward, left, or right, and do a light attack that bleeds. Whichever way you dodge, that's where her light attack will come from. You can also go into a combo from her dodge light attack. When you guard break, you can throw the opponent and get a guaranteed light attack that bleeds. For this next move, it's called Viper's Retreat. If you walk or step backwards, you can do a light attack that reaches extremely far and that does a lot of bleeding damage, and it can come from any direction. You can mix this up at the end of any combo or attack, so you can have basically an extended combo with this and do massive amounts of bleeding damage that builds up, which can be super useful. One of my favorite combos to use with this is light, and then backstep that does her Viper's Retreat. You can do her Viper's Retreat, and after you use it, you can instantly dodge or go into a dodge attack right after. You can do a bash after every heavy or light you throw out, unless the light is stopped by the opponent's guard. If you kick them and they hit against the wall, you can get a guaranteed heavy. You can do a heavy dodge attack that attacks from the opposite direction, which helps a lot with confusing enemies when you switch from that to a light dodge attack. You can also go into another combo once you're done with it as well. You can throw out her zone that hits from the right side, and it'll hit it twice, and the second time it hits, it will bleed them. You can cancel this second attack, or you can soft feint and do a bash as well, or soft feint into a heavy that's undodgeable. For Nobushi's playstyle, I would say being a little bit defensive, but also being offensive can be very helpful. Depends on who you're going against. Definitely try to keep your distance from your opponents, and her long reach will help with that. Definitely get good at using her hidden stance, for it will allow you to dodge attacks and go into combos right after. Don't forget to use a lot of her undodgeable attacks, and to use her Viper's Retreat, so you can get a lot of bleed. Bleeding is one of her main specialties. Overall, I would say she's really fun to use. Now let's head over to feats. So the first one for feats, she has Iron Lungs, which you can still sprint when out of stamina. Then she has Speed Revive, which allows you to rapidly revive fallen teammates. And then Body Count, which killing soldiers grants you health and stamina. For her second feat, she has Arrow Strike, which allows you to call an arrow strike dealing moderate damage over an area. Smoke Bomb allows you to throw a smoke bomb in front of you that temporarily blinds your opponents. Executioner's Respite. When executing an enemy hero, gain an extra amount of health based on the execution duration. For her third feat, she has Second Wind, which allows you to recover some of your health. Or she has the Longbow, which allows you to fire a longbow that does a meter on damage. Or you can use Sharpened Blade, which attacks inflict low damage over time. So it's basically just bleeding them, which of course in her kit is very useful. For her last feat, she has Stalwart Banner, which allows her to set up a banner that heals you and all your allies and stops bleeding and fire damage. She has Arrow Storm, which allows her to send an arrow storm of attacks that deal a medium amount of damage. Fire trap, which allows her to set a trap that if someone steps on, there will be a massive area of fire that will affect everyone who's in it. Now let's head over to her perks. For her first feat, she has Radiant Rebound, which upon spawn, or when revived, gain 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. Remedy, upon hero kill, heal 10 extra health. For Feline Agility, when gaining a renowned level, gain 4% movement speed for the first, then 2% for each subsequent level. Supersonic in Revenge, gain 15% movement speed, and uninterrupted sprint persists briefly after Revenge ends. Clever Tactic allows you to capture a zone and use banner or offerings 15% faster. Rising Dawn revives allies to 75% health. Rapid Refresh, upon takedown or when reviving, an ally's feat's active cooldowns are reduced by 5%. If I had to use 3, I would use Remedy, Clever Tactics, and Rising Dawn. Those are my personal favorites for Nobushi. Now let's head over to Nobushi's fashion. Nobushi's ornament is on her head. She has paint pattern, symbol, and embossing for her chest and back, for her head, her face, her right shoulder, her left shoulder. For her traits, she can only be a female, and these are her skin colors. Now let's head over to Nobushi's executions. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you share this video so all your friends can see my pretty Nobushi. And I'll see you in the next video.